If you're making a wood cabinet, piece of furniture, something like that, and you don't want nails, screws, or other hardware to show, one of the most successful and popular ways of joining the two pieces of wood is to use a wood biscuit, such as Techteam's number 915, number 20 Birch wood joining biscuits. We're just going to talk about Techteam's biscuits, but before we get into that, it's necessary to have a brief discussion about some of the equipment and processes necessary to use them. Wood biscuits come in three sizes: number 0, then an M, which is also number 10, and then a number 20. It's important to have your plate joiner, which is this tool we have right in front of us, set to the correct size so the biscuit fits the opening just right. Because a number 20 biscuit, like the ones we have here, is not going to fit in a number 10 or number 0 pocket. On the other hand, the pocket you cut for a number 20 biscuit is going to be much too large for a number 10 or a number 0 biscuit. The point being, everything has to be synchronized and coordinated so that everything fits just right and you get exactly the type of joint that you're expecting to get. A few things about the biscuits. First of all, they're clearly stamped with the size. In this case, Techteam's biscuits are number 20. In addition, you will notice a waffle pattern on the face and backside of the biscuit. This is to make the surface area a little bit bigger so that when you apply the glue, you get much better purchase and you get a really strong joint. We use Birch because it's really strong, and you can see on this chart exactly how strong it is compared to other types of wood. It's right up there with the strongest of them. This, plus its ease to work with, make it the ideal candidate to use for biscuits. The number 20 biscuit is 23 millimeters across, 55 to 56 millimeters long, and now we get to the really important dimension. It's roughly 3.6 millimeters thick. The reason that's important is because when we apply our water-based wood glue, it's going to make the biscuit expand so it fits into the cavity really tight and makes a really superior bond. Here we've taken one of our biscuits and we soaked it in water for about 2 or 3 minutes, and you can see that it's expanded to 4.2 millimeters. Now here's a pocket we've cut for a number 20 using our plate joining tool, and we can put a dry biscuit in there, and you can see we got quite a bit of play. Now we put our expanded biscuit into that same pocket, and it's nice and snug. This is exactly what you want and exactly what you need to make a good, effective, strong joint. When we fill that pocket with glue and then we put our biscuit into it, the biscuit is going to absorb the glue, expand, and make that joint really secure. The reason, of course, is that the biscuits are made from compressed birch. So they press it really tight and it makes it a little bit thin, and then when it's exposed to the moisture in the glue, it expands. As mentioned, we already cut the pockets, so now we're going to join our two pieces of wood together. To do that, we need to put some glue into the pocket like that, and we're going to do that for the other two also. You want to get enough glue in there to fill the pockets, because once you put everything together, the glue is going to be a little bit hydraulic. It's going to get forced out, and then you just clean everything up with a little water or wet rag and clamp your pieces of wood together, and you'll be good to go. Now we're going to glue up the pockets on the piece of wood we're going to mate the first piece of wood to. Here we go. Now we have the pockets on the other piece of wood all glued up, and we're ready to put the two pieces of wood together. Now the first thing we do is we put our biscuits in place like this, and then we're going to mate this to the other piece of wood. Now we just fit our two pieces of wood together like this, and I mentioned it's going to squish out, so you got to be prepared to clean it up, but you want to make sure you have plenty of the glue in there so that the biscuits get thoroughly coated and then they expand. Now we put a bar clamp on this, and we just take a here we have a wet piece of paper towel, Just wipe that glue off, dry it. And when this sets up, we're going to have a good, strong joint. We just showed you how the biscuits will work with a piece of wood, but they work equally well with particle board like this. We just demonstrated one type of joint, which is probably the most common. We're mating one edge to another edge. The other type of joint, of course, that's also fairly common is mounting an edge to a face. And to do that, the process is basically exactly the same. You cut your pockets, put your biscuits and adhesive in, and then you take the two pieces of wood, put them together, clamp them, and then you have your assembled piece. The bottom line, if you're doing any kind of cabinetry, furniture making, etc., you really need to have wood biscuits and the appropriate tools in your inventory.